Hey everyone, Cyril here. It is another evening of working on the truck after work. So we have got the extension on the back. I do have one minor issue. The heat pulled this side to the right a little bit as you're looking from the back to the front. So we're going to do a little work on the frame this weekend, see if we can bring that frame, that back end back over the little bit that it pulled from the heat. That was our only real issue there. So now we're moving forward. We're starting to mount our mounting flanges on the truck. So we're back to drilling holes. 14 holes I'm going to drill in that flange. So that all the holes in the frame transfer through and I can pick what I want for which ones to use. And then once I get my plating, which will be 3/16, and wrap the inside, it also shims for the hitch. I'll have to drill the same 14 holes back through the other direction into the plating. So lots of holes to drill. Nothing real exciting in the near future, all just dull, boring hole drilling stuff. I did buy my steel for the beginnings of the bed. I've got the bottoms of my rails, all the steel for the headache rack, and all the uprights for the flat portion of the deck, and a few other pieces in here. So this should keep me busy for a few weeks. I'm hoping by next weekend maybe that I've got these rails, the mounting flanges welded onto them, maybe get the uprights on the front end welded, get them set square and true on the truck, and then start building the headache rack so that I can attach it onto the front of this, slide this back, attach it onto the front, move this back forward again. It's kind of the thought I have. We'll see what happens, how that works out, how it moves forward. It may just end up getting mounted in place. It will be set up in a way that I could weld it on the truck. Because I'll be able to get to everything. That shouldn't be an issue. So we'll play that by ear, see how that goes. But stuff's here. So next step, I got these flanges. I want to have 3 sets of flanges. One back here. I've got the ones for the commercial plate that are still there in the middle. And then we're going to put another set of flanges. There's some lightweight ones that go here that aren't heavy enough. So we're doing some 1/2 inch. We're getting some 1/2 inch cut to match the shape and fit in here, and put a flange in here that we can utilize. And then we'll have alignment pins at 8 places along the frame to keep everything aligned if the bed has to be taken off and set back on to line it back up. So that should go pretty good, should go pretty straightforward. All in all, I am happy with how everything's proceeding. So we'll get there. Alright, that's it for today. I'm going to go back to drilling because I can't drill and film, and I got a lot of holes to drill. Probably about 40 on each side. Don't know how well this will show up. I'll move along to make it better. But this is the general structure for the raised portion of the bed. Everything's just sitting there right now, in position where they go. Nothing's tacked, nothing's welded, nothing's even been cleaned yet. I'm just trying to get my head around how it's going to look. It does lay out near perfectly between the tires for the angle coming at the center of the wheelbase, which is what I intended. I have a tape measure somewhere. It's intended to be 5 inches off the truck, with a 2-inch headache rack giving me 3, and I'm actually 6 off the truck. So I actually have 1 inch more than what I had planned for, so I'm comfortable with that. Everything is looking really good. I will probably lay out the other side, stand them up, and then take another video so that you guys can see what that's looking like. So give me a moment and that should be done. And there it is. Blink of an eye. But yeah, it's not perfect at the moment because it's all just sitting here, but I did a rough measurement on top, and just laying them out is kind of half-ass measuring it. Rough measuring, I'm within a 60th, not a 60th, I'm within an 1/8 of an inch on top to my 144. And who knows where I'm probably 1/8 inch off on the bottom just because of how I'm doing it. But I like that. I am very content with this. This should work very well. Alright, I'm rambling, so I'm going to quit filming, get back to brain processing on how I'm going to do this. Because I got things like these two don't line up very well vertically. They're off. So I don't know if they're cuts off or of how it's sitting on the truck. But I would think if it's how it's sitting on the truck, that would be affect all of them, not just one. So their cut must be off a little bit, I'm thinking. We're going to play with it. We're going to look at it. We're going to make sure everything's clean, square, straight, where it needs to be. And then we'll build it from there. All right, that's it for the moment. So first two uprights are welded on the channel. And sighting down them, they are very square and straight. So I'll clean those welds up a little bit after they cool. And then these have to get turned around. These are actually the front rails that go up there. So I got to pull them off and spin them around. Yeah, I think this is going to work good. I'll probably have to slide them back when I put the top rail on. I still got to order the top rail. I got to do that on Monday. It'll cap this. It'll run back to the center of the axles. And then everything starts tapering from there. But I think this will work good. I'm happy with it. See where we end up. It's all new to me. So we're figuring it out as we go. Well, it's another day of working on the truck here in Washington. It is exactly 9 weeks today until we leave to head back to the Arizona desert. Well, actually, we're headed to Vegas to a rally for the Switch It Up group. Stay and visit with some friends for a little bit, and then from there down to Arizona. But the gist is we leave here in 9 weeks. So everything needs to be done, ready to roll, packed up in that time. One of the issues I've had that I've been bouncing around, and the sun is really messing with me, this will help, is the driver's side weld, adding the extension on the truck went perfect. The passenger side is kicked a 1/2 inch out, and it's 1/8 to 3/16 low. I'm not sure how it ended up off when I got done welding. I've tried to see if I could massage a frame and bring it into alignment. All I ended up doing was dragging the Jeep. So I don't have anything with that capability. So the correct answer, and the one I've been trying to avoid, is I'm going to cut the passenger side off and do it again. So I've been laying it out how I'm going to cut it, getting ready to do that. So here in probably an hour, this wing is going to be laying back on the ground. I'll do some adjustment, and then we will put it back on. And then on top of all that, with all this gorgeous weather we've had, we've got a huge storm rolling in tonight. So like 6 o'clock tonight, we're supposed to have thunder and lightning and pouring rains. So try to get it all done. And then it also occurred to me that this top raised section that I thought I would piddle with while we're up here, since I was kind of ahead of the game, that I really can't bolt that to the truck until it's 100% built, because really the last thing it goes on are the angles that bolt it to the frame. So I have to get that 100% fabricated before we pull out. So that's going to be interesting. I have some idea. If I don't get that far, I have some ideas, but it means Monday I got to go down and order more steel so that I can build the ramp section and get the superstructure built. Try and take this slow so that I don't make mistakes and have to redo stuff any more than absolutely necessary. I'm making some mistakes along the way, but that's all right. I'm actually really happy with how everything's going. We're getting there. It's a little at a time. Doing the back end, it's a setback. It's nothing that isn't fixable. So here we're going to start fixing, and hopefully by the end of the day that'll be back on the truck and re-welded and repainted. So that's my plan. Here we go. Okay, top and bottom cuts are done. So that definitely means I am now committed to going forward with this, or possibly I should be committed for having done this, but we'll see where that ends up. There was definitely, that's interesting, there was some sprung tension on that. It went from being a 1/2 inch out to being 1 inch out once I cut the top and bottom plates. So there was some kind of pressure in there already. So yeah, it's good that I'm redoing it. It may be a little more freehand than the last one, may not be clamped quite as much so that I can keep an eye on it. I don't know, we'll play that by ear. I've got to get set up to hold it now so it can't fall, and cut the diagonal cut, and then we'll go from there. I have surprised myself. That was a nearly perfect cut. Could have been just a fraction lower here, but that's all right because I got to bring the top in. And I am within 1/16 of an inch of meeting right there. Once I touch it with the cutoff wheel, that should take that clean. And then I got to start setting it up to make sure it's straight. Well, it's done. It's on the ground. Now we got to see if we can make it look like the driver's side. Driver's side came out incredible. I'm delighted with it. So now I just got to make this side look that way. It can happen. I'm confident. Nah, it shouldn't be that big a deal. And it really was the right thing to do, even though I really didn't want to do it. So, here we go. Now it's time to start the fitment. Make it go on straight. Okay, I've been working on this for about an hour. I'm happy with the fitment now, so everything's still got to have the paint stripped back and get V-grooved, which will probably take about another hour. And then I should be ready to weld the fitment. The frame should be 33 inches inside, and that's about as perfect as it gets, and it's the same all the way through. And the alignment across the pieces is just perfect. So I'm going to take a break for a few minutes, and then I'll work on getting my V-grooves together and stripping my paint. Probably strip the paint first. And then I think we'll be welding this afternoon. So by tonight, that should be back on the truck. And hopefully we'll have corrected the issue we had with it. We're getting there. We'll keep plugging along. I'll keep you informed. Okay, we're going to let this cool for a little bit. It's interesting. We started out perfectly on 33 inches. And as I'm welding, it is slowly starting to increase. I'm now up to 33 1/8. So I think I want to let this thing cool considerably before I go any further. My concerns are that it's going to pull back to where it was. So far it still looks pretty straight. It is out 1/8 of an inch. I could probably put a clamp or something across here and maybe try to pull that in and keep it, but I don't know that that's going to overcome what the heat does. So we're just going to let it cool. Take our time. I'm not in a rush. Maybe a storm coming in a few hours, but that's okay. I can wrap it in tarps and pick it up another day if I need to. So now I think I need to let it cool. I think I'm getting it too hot. Trying to push too much at one time. Need to be more patient. So that's where I'm at. That's what we're doing. For now, we're going to sit maybe an hour, see where it's at. When it's cool to the touch, then I'll look at coming back again. I've got half of the second pass on the inside. But I think stacking the welds is pushing it. Probably should have waited in between. Oh well. Alright, we'll figure it out. We'll get there. Okay, today was a good day for phone a friend. So I called a buddy of mine that does welding and knows what he's doing. He said that my problem is I'm trying to push too fast, too hard. He says I've got to wait between passes for it to completely cool. Then I'm basically superheating the metal, and then as that cools, it's pulling it. He recommended I take my 1/2-inch angle iron I have, clamp it on the frame to act kind of as a heat sink, try to keep some of the heat out of it, and then on each pass in between let it completely cool to the touch. So that's what we're doing. We'll keep going. We'll keep you apprised. Okay, weather is slowly changing on me. Clouds are coming in. Wind's trying to pick up. But we've made some pretty good progress. We're done on the inside. The root pass is done on the outside. Needs to cool. If the weather holds, we can try to get more passes on and get it done. If I get 2 more passes on it, then I can paint it and just forget about it and sand it later. So we'll see where we get to. It's holding the amount that it's sprung, the little bit that it's sprung, it hasn't changed. It's been holding. So yeah, the big one is I was pushing too hard, too fast, not giving it time to cool. So I'm good with it. It's working. We'll take our time, and if the weather gets too bad, then I will just wrap it in a tarp for tonight and wait for the weather to improve and the winds to go away. Yep, I will keep you apprised as I keep going. Okay, the weather held out and we are welded. All passes complete. Welder's cooling down. I can plug it, unplug it, put it away. I even remembered to come back and grind this weld down and paint it. That rail was sitting on it. I've got to clean this. There's rust on that I'll need to take and clean that up more, I think. But all in all, I am happy. My measurement is good-ish. At least it was before this last weld. I haven't checked it since. So, as you guys witness, we're a little over 33, but that should pull in. The 3/4 inch bolts that bolt the hitch in shouldn't have any trouble pulling that in. And it's interesting. It goes up and it comes down. I weld, it goes up, it cools, it goes down a little bit, which is kind of interesting. But I guess my next step is looking at where this goes, cut this side of the frame off to match that side. so that we're at length. And if weather continues to hold, I might grind that weld down and paint tonight. I don't know, we'll see. See where we get to. But 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We are getting there slowly. It's definitely a lot better than what it was. Before, when you look down the frame rail, you could see the warp in it. Now it's out a little bit, but I think that's actually in this joint. Mine seems to be pretty clean. So we'll keep going forward. I keep you apprised. I'm rambling-ish, thinking. Next steps. Okay, the storm seems to be holding off. I've got all the welding done. It's back on. It's straight. Got my end cut and painted. So as long as this keeps holding, I'm going to go ahead and start grinding the welds, get them painted, get back to where I was. That kick that was in it is definitely gone. So, and we're 3/16 out, which I can live with. I think that's actually in the forward joint, not in the joint that I just did. But who knows? Either way, it's certainly close enough to be able to put it in and put the bolts in and just crank it up and draw it tight. So, and it's close enough to be able to drill it. That's a big one. So, yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to pull it up, but I'll find something I can use to, wet paint again. I'm good at that, hands and wet paint. I'll put something in there to pull it up, pull it in once the hitch is in it. I've got to get it sanded, get it painted. Monday I got to get down. It's Saturday today. Sunday I got to stop by the fabrication shop and get my plating fabricated to do what I need it to do. And we should be good. We just keep moving forward. Cover stuff up for the storm tonight. And stop when I need to stop for the storm. But yeah, I'm happy with it. It looks good. Should do everything I need it to do. Probably have a little re-drilling to do for the cross member. I might even pull it out of there or slide it forward or whatever to get in to drill my last hole on that side and drill all the holes on this side. So I think final decision, I'm going to have 10, not 14. Part of that, there are 3 holes on each of these, but I'm just doing the 2 outer ones. So I was going to do the inner holes on each, but that would have added 4 holes, but I don't see a reason to. I don't think it's necessary. Wet paint again. So yeah, 10 holes on each side. And then those same holes have to go through the plating. And then we've got to drill the bottom for some of that through the plating, plus the 6 3/4 inch holes for the hitch through the frame and plating. And then I've got an angle to go on the bottom to hold the black tank in place that will have to be drilled. So lots of holes to drill on this back end. Well, with that, I will keep working on it, and I will keep you guys appraised as I move forward. Well, we're getting close. We have just the top inside still to grind and paint, and this will be back in, laying my 4-foot level down it. It's pretty darn true. It might angle out about 1/16 of an inch according to the level, putting a straight edge on it. So it's pretty good. I'm happy with that. So we'll get there. We'll keep plugging away. Show it to you when I'm done. The weather's clouding up and wind's picking up. The storm's coming. It's just not here yet. I've been lucky. It's been holding off for me. So I'll show you when it's done. Okay, we are going to call that done, although I see a couple spots I might touch up with paint. Since we still have it out, and opening it with a camera in your hands is not the easiest thing, but that looks like a wrap to me. It is straight. I stuck the level on it earlier. We'll see if how much paint I get on it doing it again. We are clean and true through there. And on the 16th, on the inside, it rocks about a 1/16 of an inch, if that. So I can live with this. This is a whole lot better than what it was before, where it visibly angled out, and I don't know that I could have set the hitch in it. This I can work with. So for today, it's done. I would call it a successful day because you can't tell I did anything. Wait, that doesn't sound right. But it's the way it is. Today, a good day means you can't tell I did anything. Since I got up this morning and cut the back of the truck off, yeah, that was a bit of a day. But I am happy with the outcome. I think it was a good choice. Definitely a lot straighter and cleaner than it was. So it's going to work. It's going to do what I need. So, all right. So with that and a storm coming in, I think we're out. I'm going to do some cleanup, and when we start the next video, we'll be looking at the top section and what we're doing on it, or the plating and shims for the fifth wheel, and resetting the hitch. I don't know, somewhere, one of those things. Those are what are coming up. So one of them will be coming next, I guess, whatever order things come in. And with that, I'm out.